And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, with the final challenge round of the 2000 decade. This is Mustafa Mohammed. I love that name, Mustafa. Versus Ahmad Haidar. What a classical battle to finish up this decade. Now, this one is the epitome of apples versus oranges, in my opinion. You get the muscularity, of course, goes to Mustafa. There's no doubt in anyone's mind. But then the aesthetics goes greatly in the favor of Ahmed. So it's really what you prefer. There's no judges battle here. This is a toss-up, depending on what you prefer. And of course, if you know me, I'm going with Ahmed for sure. Love the aesthetics, but Mustafa looks awesome. So it should be a tight matchup. Alright, here we go with the front double bicep. And this one was a thinker in my opinion. I believe the proportions there on Mustafa Mohammed are just enough to squeeze by with a victory over this just incredibly conditioned and aesthetic Ahmad Haidar. Wow, look at those abs. Hard to get when you look at these two, it's hard to avoid looking at those incredible abs. But of course, look at the guns on Mustafa. And I think that's why I give him this victory, because it is close when you look at the proportions. Look at that little tiny waist on Mustafa as well. All right, it's tie game. Next pose. The front lat spread. One of my all-time favorite poses. In my opinion here, Mustafa Mohammed is far superior to this Ahmad Haidar. Taking nothing away from Ahmad, he does look crisp and perhaps the more conditioned athlete. But when I look at those lats just blaring out, or I don't know, flaring or blaring, I guess you could say. Well, I guess it's too late. I already said blaring. But anyway, I'm not going to waste any more time. Mustafa fetches up another nice big point. And look at the proportions once again in Mustafa. Just incredible. But it is a good matchup. Alright, let's head on into this, the side chest. And what a couple of fantastic side chests these two men possess. I went back and forth with my decision on this one. One of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make in this challenge round. The muscularity, just look at those muscles on Mustafa. Thick. Wow, love those Tom Platz wheels. But we're going with Ahmed because he is just a little bit too perfect in this pose. Just look at how perfect he is. So crisp. Anyway, this is a nice little matchup. These two are perfectly designed to do battle in this thing. All right, let's have a look at the side tricep. And it looks like Ahmed is scoring a victory in both of the side poses, both the side chest and the side tricep. Both men look okay. I mean, not the best pose for either guy. But I think Ahmed just looks a little bit more crisp. His conditioning is spot on. And the tricep itself is much more visible. But anyway, I believe Mustafa Mohammed has a very narrow waist from the side or from the front, but you put him to the side here and he looks rather thick in the waistline. But anyway, we're not going to pick him apart. Let's have a look at the next pose. Here we have the rear double bicep pose. And in my opinion, neither of these two guys has the best in the way of conditioning. Both seem to be holding a little bit of water there in the glutes. I will say Mustafa Mohammed looks a little bit more crisp there in the lower back and seems to be the more conditioned athlete. And it's funny, from the front, then Ahmed looks more conditioned, but here from the rear, Mustafa seems to be the better athlete. But anyway, he is winning this pose. But now let's have a look at the rear lat spreads. And it looks like Mustafa is going to win both of the back shots, both the rear double bi and the rear lat spread. He has just too much thickness and meat back there. Just look at how muscular he looks. But like I said in the rear double by, neither of these two men the best conditioned. And it appears that the calf department, Mustafa, his legs are massive in the thigh and hamstring department, but his proportions are a little down with those mid-sized calves. Even Ahmad is winning in the calf department. These two names a little bit confusing. Anyway, next pose. Here in the most muscular pose, and this pretty much resembles this whole contest. This is apples versus oranges. Aesthetic flow versus just robotic thick mass muscle. Look at the thickness of Mustafa Mohammed. But in my opinion, that just crisp finish on Ahmad Haidar gets him a point in this most muscular pose. His conditioning is just awesome. But like I said, depending on your tastes, this matchup could go either way. Pretty much all these poses. But at this time, let's have a look at the final deciding pose. And as usual, the deciding pose will be the ab and thigh. And if you are familiar with Ahmad Haidar, then you will know that he is famous for this ab and thigh pose. Just an incredible set of abs there. And it goes without saying he is winning this against Mustafa Mohammed. Not the best pose at all for Mustafa. I will say he gave his all in this little competition, and this was the final challenge round for the 2000 decade. So here is your winner, Ahmad Haidar. Ahmad Haidar will now await the challenge of another challenge round winner to do battle in the Gladiator